Hello everyone, I'm Lamont Gilchrist. www.lgfitnessmessiah.com is my website. Lamont Gilchrist, lifetime natural pro bodybuilder on Facebook. Lamont Gilchrist, Natty on YouTube. Lamont Gilchrist pro bodybuilder. Check out my YouTube channel, and subscribe to it. I posted an article from my blog earlier today, and I was talking about supplementation. I wanted to touch the issue and go back on it a little bit because I get clients or people who contact me and I start talking to them about their meal plan and what they're doing, supplements, medications, and all the other stuff. If there's any interactions when I'm setting up their meal plans, I do the research to see if there's any drugs going to interact with their with the supplements or with the drugs that they're taking. And a lot of people get defensive, and I guess they don't really have a true understanding about the foundation of medicine. The foundation of medicine is basically started off with herbs and understanding the human body, understanding the anatomy of the human body. And there's different branches of the foundation of medicine. You have biology, chemistry, anatomy, neurosurgeries. So there's different levels to this. Every doctor isn't created equal. I had a friend who told me that he went to the doctor. One doctor said, well, you're doing fine. Give him kind of like keep doing what you're doing, keep losing weight. He went to another doctor. The doctor told him, you're about to die. So doctors don't all necessarily agree or have the total answers. I've always said this, and this is very true. If it's not acute where they can go in, they know the location and what it is that they're taking out, they can do a biopsy, analyze it and stuff like that. Doctors don't have a real great understanding about supplementation or medications unless they're microbiologists and they develop these things. I know people who go and do these studies. There's studies that go around in the United States. You take these drugs, they do drug studies to see what kind of effects they're going to have on individuals and see if they get sick or what kind of side effects before they bring them to market, before the FDA approve them and things and stuff like that. So that's how they do their research, the same way that we bodybuilders or people who are in the fitness industry or in supplementations, we try these different things. We see which company are marketable or reputable or credible to their supplements, which companies put out good products. And we utilize it, and then it affects our body and changes our body and help us to overcome certain obstacles or to prevent certain illnesses and things of that particular nature. Then we communicate it amongst each other, and we put it out here to the masses. So don't get it twisted. I've always found it very ethically crazy when you go to a hospital and you stay at a hospital stay in a hospital bed, which is not all that comfortable, in a room with another person with a TV, while they have an IV in you, maybe do a little bit of things, take a Kleenex, give you a shot, send you on your way, and you get a $1,000 bill. They just act like you went to Vegas and stayed in the grand luxury suite overnight, and they gave you complimentary food and everything else. So when people or when institutions will take advantage of someone's vulnerability, same way with the legal system. I done sit in a courtroom. I done won a lot of cases myself. I done sit in a courtroom or sat behind the scenes with a lawyer before. The lawyer told me, oh yeah, you're right, you may be right, but you don't want to take this chance. You're black, you ain't here. This straight up told me, white lawyer told me, you black. So, this is where you do, where you at, and all this other stuff. How is that law? And then they go into the courtroom and they start their little genre and they use these words and use these little genres and parts of the law and quote statutes and stuff like that and act like the conversation behind the doors, which doctors have, which lawyers have, which professionals have, never took place. So to the masses, there's a whole bunch of FUCKERY. Some of that stuff will be in my book about the genre that people use and the manipulation of words and the manipulation of situations to basically enslave and make you pay a high price for your freedom, for your health, and for other situations in that particular, in those particular genres where people go off and they pay for these big educations so that they can basically flip the bill on you and get rich. Same way with pharmaceutical companies. They do the same thing with the FDA, with the labeling on a package where they lie, where they say this is healthy or this and this. It's about manipulating words. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's true what they're saying, and they use these words in such a manipulative way that they can beat the legal system, so there's no ramification for the knowledge you don't go out there and get for yourself. I'm going to give you I never really get personal. I'm going to get personal today. One of the reasons why I knew that I wanted to do this, because my grandmother had diabetes, and I stayed away, didn't go to the University of Nebraska, stayed at home, because, I gave my grandmother her insulin shot for years when I was at high school and all the other stuff. I remember as a young person giving her the shots, and someone gave me the instruction, like, if you put this insulin in her blood and she get air in her veins, you would kill her. I still remember that to this day. I'm pretty sure my little cousins, after I did move into an apartment and they were there and they gave my grandmother her insulin shots, I'm pretty sure they got those same instructions. That was pretty crazy that a high school or a young man had a life with someone that he loved so much in their hands and was basically flirting with death in a sense of trying to help her or heal her. And knowing what I know now, that wasn't even helping or healing, because there were other issues and other things that she needed to do just from a holistic way that could have basically preserved and allowed her not to suffer the way that she did before she passed on. So, just taking that and knowing that the Most High is always revealing truths and reality to me, that kind of sticks with me, and that's why I'm so passionate about this whole health thing and why I do the things that I do. Only it intertwines with me being an athlete and all these other things. So be very careful of the trickery or fuckery that these professionals use when they bring you in here to charge you $20 for a Kleenex when you go to the doctor and justify it. And you tell a whole person, man, that's way out of price. You should try this right here. Or, here's a Kleenex. No, I want the one the doctor gave me. There's an old tale talking about, I heard this tale where someone's telling a story about a man's asking to be saved, and there's a flood coming. He's on the roof, and he's praying to God. And he's like, please save me, save me. So people come with the boat, and he won't get on the boat. You know what I'm saying? He's like, I'm waiting on God. People come with the helicopter. He won't get on the helicopter. So the water comes and he drowns. And then when he leaves this place and he's in front of the Most High, he's like, why didn't you save me? Why didn't you say? He said, I sent a boat. He said, I sent the helicopter. So be careful. The Savior and saving and instructions and help come in many different forms. You just got to be receptacle or be able to receive the information, process it, and trust it. Because everybody that's telling you information, you got to see what they're in it for. You got to be able to separate, the meaning of what people are saying from the reason why people are saying these particular things. If you can follow that, that's great. That will go a long ways in a lot of aspects of your life into knowing who's a friend and who's a foe. And then sometimes you got to side with the enemy just to get things done. But if you know where you stand and if it's not war, then it's not war. I have no problem with working or collaborating with anyone or being respectful or appreciating anyone, as long as it's not war. If it's war, then it's war. It could be anyone when it's war. So understand how to pick your battles, when to fight your battles. Understand who's talking to you and what they're talking about. And understand, get knowledge for yourself so that you don't get bamboozled and go to the hospital and get charged $1,000, $2,000 for standing in an uncomfortable bed with an IV, which is just saline solution going into your vein, with basically getting some Advil or the equivalent of ibuprofen and sending you home with this $2,000 bill when there's other things that you can do. Once again, my name is Lamont Gilchrist. Thanks.